Quite a lot is required to be a man that is ready for marriage. And this is not just a matter of age, as there's so many boys in men's bodies these days, and marriage is certainly not for boys but for men. And this is the reason the Bible in Genesis 2:24 says that a man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall become one flesh. It takes you, being a man, to live in the comfort zone of living with your parents, friends, loved ones, to go finding your own path in life. And talking about being a man, on today's episode, I'll be sharing 5 important husband features every man should activate and become before marriage. A warm welcome to you. This is Refining Moment with Lady Uche, and my name is Uche Imafidon. I'm a relationship and refinement coach, and this is Grooming Room, where you are being equipped for a great marriage and family life. And talking about 5 key husband features every man should activate before marriage. When activating these features, it would help you get prepared for marriage and also make you enjoy the best of experiences as a married man. You shouldn't assume that you are ready for marriage simply because you've come of age. You should actually know that you are ready for marriage because of how prepared you are. And in checking to see how prepared you are, the following are the 5 non-negotiable features that you should activate before marriage. Number 1, being a leader. Every man has a leadership factor built in him by nature, but it is not everyone that has activated this leadership feature. And one practical way to ascertain the activeness of the leadership factor in you is to first learn to lead yourself as a person, taking personal responsibility for your life and disciplining yourself to doing whatever it is that is required or that is necessary to moving your life forward. Okay, and number 2 is in the way you lead others. Your leadership factor and style in the way you lead others is very important, as that would give an inkling as to whether you will be a great head or a great leader for your wife and children. And in ensuring that you will become a great leader or head to your wife and children, you want to get very intentional. You want to critically look at your leadership style. You want to pay attention to your leadership attitude in the way that you lead people at different points in time of your life, either at your place of work, in your family, in your direct family, at different points in time. Okay, you want to pay attention to how you lead people, all right, because your success or failure at it will mean a great deal to your marriage. If this would require you going all out to learning from others, go ahead, please. By all means, learn as much as you can. Good. So number 2 is becoming a lover. So in becoming a lover, first you want to learn how to love yourself, how to love God, and how to love others. And in loving others, you are selfless about it, because becoming a lover, one very important thing that you want to deal with is dealing with selfishness. Right? You are not just one who's concerned about how situations and opportunities and people and relationships benefit you, but you are one who should be concerned about the well-being of others. You should care for people. You should shower people with lots of gift, attention, and support, and do all of this stuff for people. And this should be something that should happen to you before marriage happens. Okay, so when you pay this amount of attention in caring for people and seeing to it that people's needs are met selflessly, what that will invariably do for you is it will create this enablement in you to see into it that you go all out to looking for ways on how to pleasing your wife when marriage finally happens, and seeing to it that you meet her needs, her emotional needs at all time. And in building and activating this feature as a lover, one thing you should also learn to do is to learn to express your words, your words of affirmation to other people. Express your love to people. Let them know that they are incredible, that they're wonderful people. And in doing this, please be sure not to lead people on. You know how that you may just be doing some things and someone else is catching feelings, if you know what I mean, or someone else is interpreting something differently from what you're doing. Let whoever it is you're expressing your heart of love to know that this is coming from a place of genuineness, from a place of true love and nothing more. All right, so doing that will help you get prepared to expressing love affectionately to your darling wife when marriage happens. Number 3, a provider. Being a provider means that you are someone who has means of livelihood and making resources and things available for yourself and for the people in your world. And these would include having an accommodation, a comfortable accommodation for you to live in, and other essentials, right? And making sure that things are always readily available to the people around you. You should position yourself as one who meets out needs, who gives it, who helps people, rather than to being at the receiving end as always the one who is collecting from others and looking for ways and all that. Now, when you position yourself as one who meets needs with that mindset, I'm telling you, when marriage finally happens, it would be something that you do stresslessly, providing to your household, providing your wife's needs, and ensuring that her needs, even emotional needs, are met. And even your children, all the attention that is needed to giving them will be supplied almost naturally. One of the ways to activate this providing nature of yours is to always take it upon yourself, make it a point of duty to always get things, buy stuff for people on your way from an outing. When you go out, do not come back empty-handed. Make sure to get something for the people in your world. It could even be for your neighbors. In doing that, over time, it will become something that you do naturally, always making sure that you are providing for other people. And number 4 is a priest. Now, being a priest, activating this priestly nature of yours is a very delicate part of your manhood as a man. This would require you being sensitive and paying attention to the spiritual condition of your domain, of your territory, of your home, of your world. You will have to be one who pays attention to all that goes around spiritually. It is true that the spiritual controls the physical, and being a priest, being one who sees to it that your space, your spiritual condition is conducive enough for you to live in and the people in your world to live in, is very critical. Yes, it is critical. And this will be activated by your close connection with God. Because, of course, it is He who will supply you with revelations of the things that are happening in your life part-time and in the lives of the people in your world part-time. So you need to activate or, improve in your relationship, in your connection with God, so that He can always supply you with revelation from time to time regarding the security of the people that are in your care, of the people that are in your world. One time I remember something that happened to us. So my brother said he felt led one time to pray because he had perceived something funny, some funny movements in the spiritual atmosphere of our home at the time. And so he decided to take out time to pray. And it was during the course of the prayer that he had a leading on his heart to anoint the whole house, our premises. So he obeyed and went ahead and anointed, all our house roundabout. And guess what happened? The next day, there was a strange looking fellow at our door. My mom came to my room to call me to see someone who was at our door asking to see my late father. My father has been dead for years now. So when we asked to know what it was that he was looking for, he was just explaining some things we couldn't make a meaning of. And from my assessment of that young man, because he kept wanting to come into our house. He kept insisting that we allow him come into the house, but we refused. But the way I saw him, he looks like someone who actually came for a harmful mission, but was disarmed ahead of time. So he couldn't really do what it was that he came for. So we had to beckon on my younger brother. Thankfully, he was at home at the time. He was the one who had prayed previously. So we reached out to him and asked to come and save the situation. And of course, he let the young man out of our premises. That scenario left me wondering, what if Chooks hadn't been sensitive the previous day to had prayed when he noticed the foul movement in the spiritual realm? And what if he hadn't obeyed to anoint our house just like he was led? What could have happened? So you see, as a man, it's important that you activate your priestly nature. It is a non-negotiable feature that needs to be activated, okay? And the last on my list is being a parent, okay? You have to learn to become a parent before you are a parent, specifically a dad. It takes a lot to be a dad, okay? Anybody can be a father. I mean, it's just for you to impregnate someone and boom, you're a father. But it takes some level of intentionality to become a father. And this would be activated. One of the ways that you can activate your parenthood as a man is to learn to take care of other children who are not directly your offspring, other children who are not your biological children, right? They could be maybe your cousins, your nephews, or your neighbor's children. In the way you take care of them, in the way you see to it that their needs are being met, in the way you take care of them, you look out for their well-being. I know of some young men who go as far as taking care of the children from less privileged homes. That's what it's called now. Yeah, the motherless children. They go as far as taking care of them, paying their fees through school, ensuring that their needs are met. Come on, any young man who does this is already setting himself up to becoming a great dad, because when your children finally comes into the scene, it will become something that you enjoy doing, enjoy providing to the needs of your children selflessly and joyously. It's something that you would do excitedly because you've already started to practice that before they appeared in the scene. All right? So it is very important that you pay attention to all of these features and activate them. Taking a look at all these features that I've mentioned: 1, being a lover; 2, being a leader; 3, being a priest; 4, being a provider; 5, being a parent, right? Taking a look at all of this list, you will agree with me that these are very significant roles that you will be playing in marriage when you finally get married. So you do not want to leave all of this to chance. You want to get really intentional, get to work now and begin to see to it that you get these things sorted. Even if it will mean you having to learn. As a matter of fact, most of these things you learn, you will need to very deliberately learn from others. You need to do this, and so that you can save yourself, your wife, and your children the difficulty and the stress of living with an unprepared and an unrefined father and husband. I'm telling you, you do not want to be in that space. It's always very stressful to live with a man who's not prepared and refined for marriage. You do not want to be that person. So get to work already. Look at the areas where you're lagging behind and intensify your effort so that when you look at yourself, you can be readily assured and tell yourself that you are ready for marriage. Is that okay? Thank you so much for listening always. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so right away and be sure to like this video. Send in your comments. I'll be, sure to look out for them. Send them to me in the comment section down below and share this video. Kindly share this video. You may just be one who's already married watching this and you think, oh, okay, Uche, no, I don't need this. But you sure should know someone who does need this. Be kind enough to share with whoever it is that you think should see this. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, be sure to stay refined. Bye for now.